Forgiven soldier, tell my story, share my glory.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Brian Basham for Forgiven Soldier, and this is Adam Ash right here. Oh, look,
What's up?
Yeah, we're just on here. Let us know when you pop on, and see if we can't get this thing rolling. This is the first time I've gone live in probably a year and a half.
It's been a while. Yeah,
about a year and a half.
Yeah.
So usually I just record it and I edit it, and then go from there. So I'm gonna check the audio. Hey, look, good audio.
it's good.
Okay, now I'm straddling. Hold on, fat kid doing something.
Fix yourself here, bud.
Ah,
You got it. Oh my God! Look, we're here.
we're on YouTube as well.
We're everywhere.
Yeah,
We're all over the place.
YouTube,
worldwide.
Facebook. We'll have the live chat, so we'll be able to chat in with you, or you be able to chat in with us. I can't chat in with you. I don't even know where you are. So feel free, if you're watching, share it. Tell them this is the hottest spot to be at tonight.
Most certainly.
So we're gonna get into it, man.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell the story.
All right, go ahead.
So we didn't rehearse anything.
Yeah.
So if it fails, it fails.
It does.
So this was probably, I was at Don Moore. We starting to get to know each other and talk a little bit. So when you work at Don Moore, if you ever start and Adam Ash is there, he won't talk to you for the first year. So it takes a little bit to get him to talk to you. But we were finally talking, and he was like, "Man, I want to." You text me out of the blue, and it's like, "Man, I want to start a podcast, and I want to talk and help people."
Yeah.
And I was like, and I was on board. I was like, "Man, that's great. Let's do it." And then it something happened. I don't know, but I was like, "Okay, I'm going to start a podcast," because he really got my brain rolling on it. I created a logo and everything. I was in it. So anyways, so I started the Forgiven Soldier podcast and asked him to be along, and he's like, "Man, I got a busy schedule and all this stuff." So I was like, "Well, I'll see what I can do with it." So I did about 14 episodes, and it was good. I had you on one time.
Yeah.
But this year was a little bit different. I wanted to continue with the second season, but I want to bring you on more episodes. Obviously,
as a for sure.
Co-host or as a host, like if I can't be here or whatever. Anyways, but this all started with Adam Ash sending me a text, and I could probably look back on the phone and read what it actually said, but we won't go that far. So here we are. We're doing the podcast after 3. It's sweating. It's super hot. Like I had to set everything up, and it was a little bit much, but welcome everybody who is in. I don't even know how many people were watching. Somebody just liked us.
Just want to see if that. Hey, yeah, no comment does show up. That's awesome.
What'd you say?
I said, hey.
Oh yeah,
look at me. There I am, bud.
And then you can put it up. What?
What? Sheesh.
Holy crap!
Holy poop!
I just needed Ethernet because I'm afraid like it's gonna crash or whatever. But
yeah, I don't have a long one. I've got just my short one.
That's what she said.
I know. Yeah, whatever.
Gosh. All right. So yeah, if you get your comments, we'll put them up on the screen.
Yeah.
We'll answer them. So Adam, tell us about like your journey. You're in Owensboro,
Owensboro, I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah, so I was kind of in and out of Owensboro, honestly. I lived with my mom and my stepdad lived here. Most of my aunts, uncles lived here or Beaver Dam. Moved back and forth between that and my dad. He lived in Louisville most of the time, or Elizabethtown area. Lived in Candyville for a while with my grandparents out there.
LV Shane.
Yeah. But yeah, most of the time I spent most of my time here. So I just claim this as my home anyway.
Okay. And you went to school at Owensboro. You graduated from Owensboro?
Owensboro High School,
Owensboro High
2007.
School?
Yeah, 07, baby.
07. So when did you join the military? Right after that?
Oh, shoot. 2010. So I actually, I was supposed to join the Navy initially. I talked to a Navy recruiter while I was in high school. And Megan, my wife now, girlfriend then, got pregnant.
Uh-oh.
And I guess I got scared. I was like, shit, I need to go work. Like I need money, right?
Yeah.
And so I ended up not doing that. And me and my buddy Adam, I worked a couple odd and end jobs, and then we ended up traveling all over the United States working in oil refineries. So we did that for a couple of years, and then we were contractors. So we'd work 3 or 4 months at a time, and we'd be off for as long as we wanted to be. We could have worked 12 months out of the year if we wanted to, and we never really did. So we were just sitting at home one day, and I was like, man, I think I'm going to go back to the recruiting station. And initially I had went to the Navy and Air Force recruiter, and they were like, bro, you're covered in tattoos, your neck's covered, your hands are covered. Like, that's probably not going to happen. And so I was like, well, I don't know what to do. And then I ran into who ended up being my recruiter for the Army. He was an infantryman. And so he talked to me and Adam both. And he's like, man, we'll get you on the buddy system. You guys will join together, yada, yada, the whole bit, whatever he needed to tell us, right?
The good old buddy system.
Yeah. So we went and took our ASFAB. We aced that.
Is that you?
That is. Oh, that's my buddy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Travis, what's up, bud? So we aced our ASFAB. We get back, and our recruiter's like, man, you can do whatever you want. And he goes, I've got 2 slots available for UAV pilots, $40,000 signing bonus for 6 years. He goes, I just suggest signing up for 6 years. I'm sure he tells everybody that, but whatever. So we were like, hell yeah. And he's like, man, I'll tell you what. He goes, I'll call my buddy.
Recruiters.
I'll call my buddy. I'll let you guys talk to him on speakerphone. He's a UAV pilot. In the recruiting office, dials him up. Me and Adam are sitting there, and he goes, do you guys play video games? And we're like, for sure. Like, 20 hours a day.
Once or twice.
Yeah.
Shout out.
So he goes, man, you guys are going to sit into a Connex. You guys will fly UAVs all over the place. And he goes, you may get deployed or not. And he goes, that's kind of depends on where you're at. So we were ready. We had to start signing some paperwork for that. And a couple days go by, and I was telling Adam, I was like, man, there's something in me that's telling me that's not what I want to do, And he's like, what do you think, man? I was like, man, I think I want to be in the infantry. Like, that's where I feel like I should be. Like, I don't feel like I should be in a Connex in a room somewhere watching everything happen. I want to be the one doing the happening, Yeah. And he was like, dude, he's like, all right, man, hell with it. He's like, if you're going to do it, I'm going to do it. I was like, all right, cool. So we get back to the recruiting station, and we tell the guy, we're like, hey, we want to be in the infantry. And he laughed. He laughed in our face. He goes, yeah, that's probably not going to happen. And I kind of got mad. I was like, what do you mean? He goes, you wouldn't make it. And I was I was like, excuse me?
That's the origin.
No, yeah. And I was like, really? And he goes, yeah, I don't think you guys would be cut out for that. And I was like, horse's ass, bud. Like, sign me up. Like, I need some paperwork.
Yeah.
And so we signed up that day for $6,000 fucking dollars. So I went from 40 G's to 6 G's just to prove this asshole wrong. Sign on my paperwork. We go, of course, you come back and forth every once in a while for that future soldier stuff or whatever. And he goes, hey, I just want to let you know, I think you're going to be just fine. He goes, I say that to everybody. I think you'll be okay. He goes, I don't.
That was after basic.
Yeah. So, yeah, we joined, and I get assigned to go to Hawaii. And of course, we're on the buddy system. So I look across. I'm 202. Adam's like 240 or 230, something like that. I look across the bay to him, across the kill zone. I'm like, bro, we're going to Hawaii. Like, hell yeah, dude. It gets around to Adam, and they're like, Fort Hood. And I was like, oh, shit. And Adam's like, no, dude, what are we doing?
And you are still friends.
Dude, yeah, we've been friends since we were like 10 years old. We've done everything together, like literally done everything together. So, I call his mom and his stepdad mom and dad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
We've been friends for a very long time, been through a lot of stuff together, but it was a crazy trip, man. It was wild. Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
So how was Hawaii? I always hated people that went to Hawaii because they were in Hawaii.
No, right.
And I was in Oklahoma.
Yeah. Brian, what's up, buddy? Brown, sorry. Philip Brown was one of my homies that I was in the Army with. Good friend of mine. Actually, he just drove all the way from Washington State. He just got out. He's been in for like 12 years. He just drove from Washington State, stayed at my house for like a day. Hadn't seen him in forever.
Really?
Yeah, and him and my wife kind of colluded and set it all up. I had no idea.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hawaii was terrible except for spearfish. Yeah, we spearfished a lot, man. I really enjoyed Hawaii. The people there were truly beautiful people. There was a lot of love to be had there if you didn't act like an asshole.
Yeah.
And that was a big problem. And luckily, you know, our team leader, one of our team leaders, Sergeant Chu, he's lived in Hawaii his whole life. You know, big Samoan motherfucker, big dude, look like Maui. You know, love him to death. One of my favorite people, Uncle Ronnie. So I mean, I really did love it there. So I got to see, you know, like going to his house and getting to hang out with people and not just in passing, you know.
Yeah.
And we mostly hung out on the north side of the island. Waikiki downtown and everything was really where all the tourists and stuff were. North side wasn't as bad. Of course, there was a lot of spots up there that were touristy, but I mean, I liked it, man. I really enjoyed it. There was a point where I was kind of like, dude, I'm stuck on this island. Like, I don't know what else to do. You know, I can only spearfish so many hours a day, you know? So, I mean, it was cool, man. I really enjoyed it. The food was beautiful. That was my favorite part, man.
And then you were able to bring Megan because y'all were married before you joined, or
yeah. So we had 2 kids at that time. We'd been married for 2 years at that time. Abel was probably only maybe a month or so old, maybe a couple weeks old when I went to basic.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That was, oh man.
Yeah, no, it was rough.
Like I tell people all the time, like if I didn't have a family or anything, like I mean, I would go back in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
As fat as I am right now, I would still go back.
Start working out again, I guess.
But I mean, to be deployed, and you were deployed with the wife and kids, like to be deployed with a family, like
man, it was
like
weird.
I had
like,
no worries. Right?
So I got out of basic, graduated July 23rd of 2010, had 7 days back in Owensboro. So I got to see my kid for a couple of weeks total of his first few months of his life, you know. And I was young myself. I was only 21, you know. So, but, you know, I was in Hawaii for probably, funny story actually, and I'll tell it here in a second, but I was in Hawaii for probably 3 months or so. And, of course, Megan's like, dude, when are we coming? Like, you know, we're ready. And I'm like, trust me, we're working on it. Like, there's processes, right? So my squad or my team leader, Cisneros, comes up to me and he's like, hey man, look, everybody's asking like why your wife and kids aren't here. Like, if you're going to like separate from them and that's what your plan is, like, just go ahead and do it and get it over with. Like, let's figure it out and let's move on. And I was like, why would you have that idea? Like, that's not what I want. Like, I'm trying to figure it out. So he marches me down, gosh, I don't know where it would be. What is that called? To the deer's place.
Okay. Yeah.
And they pull my wife's file and she's like, well, here's the problem. We don't have a doctor on island that can take care of her skin condition. And I was like, excuse me? And she goes, yeah, doesn't she have a bone and a skin condition and she needs a special doctor? I was like, no. And so they had somebody else's wife in my file and my wife in someone else's file. So
That's
neither
crazy.
one of us got our wives on the island forever because of this mix up. Right. And so I'm trying to explain this to Megan, and Megan's like, yeah, okay, you're just hanging out in Hawaii, you know, partying up and drinking.
Surfing.
Right? Yeah, for sure. Right. And so like I had Cisneros. I'm like, dude, you got to talk to my wife. She's freaking out. Like, she thinks I'm just going to abandon her and leave her in Kentucky. So it turned into a whole issue, but literally, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 days after we got the file fixed, they were like, yeah, we got the tickets cut. You're ready to go. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, we've been waiting 3 months and it was all because of this. Like, it was crazy. It was pretty wild.
What about the other guy though? He didn't want his wife?
No, maybe not.
Because he didn't know either.
He had no idea.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, you got to stay home.
I guess his chain of command just
he's treating it
wasn't
like
tracking.
Korea.
I don't know.
Like, yeah, family can't come to Hawaii.
Yeah, no, man, I'm sorry.
It's too dangerous.
You just can't come. Yeah,
it's too dangerous.
People are crazy. Sharks.
So yeah, I mean, I've never been to Hawaii. I think my wife Sarah has.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm in the kitchen. I guess we can ask her. Sarah, you been to Hawaii?
Sarah.
And she left.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyways, but no, I think she went to Hawaii. But I don't know. And it is just me. Ever since I got back from Iraq, and you know, the little backpacking across that area, I've kind of had my fill with overseas. Like, I don't want to go. Like, I don't want to go anywhere overseas.
I like to travel, but like, I don't have a desire. Like, there's places here in America I've never seen.
Yeah.
Like, and I'd like to go to Montana to like to these cool places like Yosemite Park. Yellowstone just got absolutely pounded by it. They had to shut down Yellowstone. I don't know if you've seen that.
I didn't know.
It's completely washed out. Yellowstone is.
Really?
There were roads and bridges missing, the whole bit, man.
In California?
Yeah,
Wow.
pretty wild. But anyway,
That's the one in Montana, right?
I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
The movie, the show, Yellowstone.
Oh yeah.
Come on, bud.
Yeah. What?
I don't
hey,
think
look,
it's not
yeah,
Yellowstone.
what-
It's called
yeah,
something
whatever.
else. But anyways, have y'all seen Yellowstone? Anybody Yellowstone
Anybody?
fans?
I've seen like 6 episodes, so
6.
I don't have a dog in this fight.
Oh my god!
I don't know.
We started
know.
watching 1883 last night.
See, Megan watches that, and she tried to get me to watch 1883, and I was like, I haven't even seen Yellowstone.
Hey, you don't have
Like,
to.
and that's what she said.
You
And
don't
I was
have
like,
to.
well, I can't though. Like, it'll
pre-
bother me.
It's pre-Yellowstone.
Right,
Obviously, it's 1883
Right.
and not 2020. But yeah, we're just gonna leave this up here until somebody else comments. But anyways, Yellowstone is great.
Yeah, she likes it.
So you have 3 kids.
Yeah, yeah.
How old? Your oldest boy is 15.
So Aiden is 15.
Yep.
Abel is 12, and Moana is 6.
And sassy,
And very sassy and very friendly.
very friendly.
Loves everybody.
It's Colt Graves on here.
Colt.
She was trying to sell some shirts.
Dude, she was. Every time somebody bought one, she's like, I'm gonna give it to them. I'm gonna give them the shirt. And I was like, okay, relax, calm down.
So yeah, so when you went to, how long was you in Hawaii before you got deployed? Was that
Holy
your only
poop.
duty station? Was Hawaii?
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
So I got to Hawaii. So like I said, I got back from left basic or graduated on the 23rd of July. I spent 7 days back in Owensboro and left. Megan drove me to the airport in Georgia, and I flew straight to Hawaii. We deployed in 2011 in April, so 9 months, roughly 9 months,
And then
I,
you were
and I
out.
was out. So I got to I get to my station. I'm there for about a week. Hey Colt, what's up, buddy? I get there. I'm there for about a week for in processing, getting everything together. And I get to my unit and I get assigned to my company, my platoon, whatever. And Sergeant Bro goes, hey, we need to get you to CIF. We're going to the field in 2 days. I was like, all right, cool. Like, so he sent me down with Specialist Brandon. We get our stuff. And we spent 7 days in the field. And I'd been there for 2 days. I was like, gosh, dang. I get to the field and Specialist Lasky, who was my best friend and my worst enemy at the time, absolutely, what an asshole that guy was. But man, what a good dude. I love him to death. But then I hated him because I was like, he treated me like shit, right?
Yeah.
Like, so we get there
I had one of
and
them,
we're doing like movement drills and stuff, flanking positions, stuff like that. And Humvees roll by. And they're like, hey, guys, hop in. He goes, if you don't fit, just walk back. Take your time. We're like, all right, cool. I go to get in, and I'm like filling up the last seat, like we're cramming in.
Yeah.
And Lasky grabs me and pulls me out and hops in and shuts the door and like laughs and points at me. So I flipped him off. And I was like, yeah, real funny. Now I got to walk. Like, I didn't think anything of it. I was just being normal, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, a mile later, we get back to where we were set up. And he goes, hey, Private, come here real fast. He goes, did you flick me off? And I instantly knew, like, that drill sergeant.
too
like,
much.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, fuck. I was like, I messed up, dude. I had to lean. He had me leaned up against a tree with a weapon out in front of me the whole time. And I just had to squat. And he was just like, you sit there until I'm tired. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah,
and of course,
that's the way.
everybody's laughing. I'm
Yeah.
like, God dang it. I've been here for 3 days. I'm already in trouble.
That's crazy. Yeah, we found out. So I deployed in 2003 to Iraq, and 9/11 happened. So from 2001, September of 2001,
Yeah.
like literally a couple weeks, we were training, and we were artillery. So there wasn't really much training to
Yeah.
do. We shoot rockets, we get coordinates, we hit a
Just
button,
blow stuff up.
we clean up motor pool. That was it. But they started doing like maneuvering and stuff, like Humvee maneuvering.
Yeah,
We're like,
yeah.
what is this? Like, this is pretty cool.
This is fancy.
Yeah. And not knowing that somebody does it every day, like this is their
Yeah.
job. And so we had fun with it, and we thought we were really cool. But then we got sent to Warfighter in Fort Hood,
Yeah.
and they had, so we stayed in, I'm not even exaggerating, we stayed in chicken coops, like had the chicken wire on the windows,
shot.
like dirt on the floor, like it looked like a chicken coop
Really?
with
That sounds fun.
with cots in there, and that's what we stayed in for a month, and it was stupid.
God dang.
But we weren't there. Like hindsight, I get it. Like we weren't there that much.
Right,
We're
right.
literally there for like 5 hours of sleep, and then we go.
Yeah.
So we walk up to this thing. This is probably one of the coolest things ever. So at Fort Hood, they had this, I guess where they go to the field, but it was set up as like freaking big old festival, right? They had gates and everything. They had like different stages, and it looked like a rock concert.
Really?
But on those stages were like Connexes, and they like opened up the Connex, and you go in, and there's like computers everywhere, tables, and you had like simulators,
Yeah.
like launcher. It's a MRS simulators on there, so it was hella cool. But we were there literally for like 10 hours. It was nuts, and we just do simulation after simulation after simulation, getting us ready for.
Dang, that's wild.
Getting us ready for war, right? Come to find out, we go to Iraq, we don't even use any of it. So that training was for nothing but me starting a podcast and telling everybody about it. But
about all the cool stuff I did on simulation.
Yeah. But Fort Hood was cool. You've been to Fort Hood?
No.
Fort Hood was it was all right. I know people that are stationed there hates it, but same goes for Fort Sill. But they had a Mulligan's there, or I think it was a Mulligan's or something, but it was like an old Irish pub that we used to hang out. And then Burger King, always.
Good old Burger King. Never fails.
Then we went to Georgia, Fort Stewart.
Yeah.
For some more training, because us artillerymen need as much training as possible. And that was hot, and it wasn't fun at all. But we were in the field like all the time. I do got a funny story though. So we were in the field for like 30 days straight, and it was hot. It was like June or July in Georgia, super hot, muggy. So we get out of the field, everybody's taking showers, and we're like, hey, we're going out in the town and all this stuff. So we went to this bar, and it was right off post. And it was, again, a bunch of artillerymen who've been in the field for 30 days.
Yeah.
We're just looking to get drunk, have a good time. Okay. So Fort Stewart has a Ranger division there.
Yeah.
I didn't know that at the time. So we walked in there. There's a group of guys over there, and they're having a good time, and we're all there. Well, we have some crazy dudes in artillery, and they get to drinking, and they get stupid, and then you got to watch their back. So this happened, and somebody picked a fight with these guys over here.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Come to find out, they're all Rangers, right? And they're gonna pretty much kill this dude.
No, yeah.
So we all tipped him because we're smarter than everybody, I guess. And we bought shots. We're like, hey, no harm. We're gonna take him out. Here's a thing of shots, right?
My bad, dog.
Yeah, my bad. Didn't see the tab. Because of that, we're gonna pick up your tab, that kind of thing. So we bought them shots, and we got ourselves out of the very bad situation.
Yeah.
And we were almost, so the next day we were flying back to Oklahoma, and one of us overslept in the bunkhouse. So we're at the airport, and he was still sleeping.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So he had to, somebody had to go back and wake him up. But it was a fun 30 days. But yeah, so, and then we went to Iraq, and that was Iraq, and then came home, and then I went to recruiting school. That was pretty much, that was pretty much my journey. Recruiting school was fun. The recruiting part sucked because it was in California. Like I told him, like, as far, he said, I don't know.
What's up, Lee? Yeah.
Okay, good. I was like, because I don't know you either, man. But thanks for thanks for jumping on. But yeah, so I went to Fort Jackson for recruiting school. So Myrtle Beach was pretty fun.
Yeah, I've never been to Myrtle Beach actually.
It was nice.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. And then so in recruiting, they have a wish list, right? You get 6. You pick 6 different places you want to recruit at, and the furthest east or furthest west that I picked was Missouri. I was like, that's about as far west as I want to go.
Yeah.
And they came back and said, you're going to Portland, Oregon. I'm like, huh?
I'm sorry. What?
Where's that? So
I don't speak Spanish, man.
yeah, I can't do that. But I get to I get connected with Portland and they said, hey, you're going to Eureka, California. So I Googled Eureka, California, because I was thinking LA.
Like Norco or
yeah, it was very
okay.
It's like an hour south of Oregon.
Okay.
Like it's right on the coast there. And I Googled it, and the first thing that came up was tsunami warning. And I'm like, oh my goodness.
No.
So I go from like thinking I'm going to get shot by a gang because it's California. I'm thinking LA, San Diego. And
now you're going to drown.
Now I'm going to drown.
Yeah. Cool.
But then I met my beautiful wife.
Yeah. That won't answer us. That
yeah.
one.
Are you in there?
No, she's not.
Hey, have you ever been to Hawaii? What'd you think of it? What'd you think of it?
She was in kindergarten. Mm. Jeff, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it, man.
What? Uh-oh.
Whoa.
That's not good.
We're not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
I just had this talk with my wife. She's trying to put pineapples outside. I had to explain what all that meant. So we're
that's a big neighborhood, bud.
But you never know. You never know. Like,
yeah.
You gotta be careful out here, dog.
Sarah liked pineapples too until we found out.
Jesus,
that's Sarah. She's commenting on Forgiven Soldier, but pineapple was bomb and easy. What did Christy say? We went to Maui for a honeymoon. It was amazing. Did y'all have pineapples there, Christy? Let us know.
Let us know.
The camera's up there. I'm
I keep looking down here. It's whatever. They know what we got going on.
So we're live. Blah blah. We're live. No edit.
No edit. Real deal. Yeah, we deployed in.
Pineapples were the absolute best. Okay.
Oh yeah, they were really good.
Man,
I had
coming in.
I had a banana tree in my front yard. That was pretty sweet.
What's that? You ever heard of that? Jeff? What is that? Explain what that is.
Chicken ones.
I don't care. I still set pineapple. Hey, to each his own, Megan.
Yeah. Be careful out here.
You only live once.
Hey, YOLO.
Let's see. I had a Hawaiian chicken once. Do you know what I like? Is a Hawaiian rose.
The sweet rolls.
Oh,
they're so
they're
good.
The
bro.
best.
They are so good.
They are the best.
They are so good.
Dance comp in Hawaii. Okay, now we're having a dance convo in here.
What happened?
Hey, what? I know it escalated very quickly. Hey, everybody who's joined on, thank you for writing in, messaging, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at that.
That's awesome.
If you could share it, let everybody else get into the
please.
fun. We're doing live stuff, not selling anything.
Yeah,
no earrings tonight.
Just
that's
ugly,
not a jab.
Just ugly mugs and bad stories.
What do you want to say? Go get me something. I'll sell it right now.
Yeah, I'll sell it for you. I'd do it for a living. I'll sell anything.
Christy says yes, please.
Could you imagine this on your selling?
Give me a skirt.
Oh no.
No. I don't even know what we're talking about. I don't
remember pineapples and if everybody loved Hawaii.
I think you have to put it upside down or something.
It is an upside down pineapple.
Yeah. So because Sarah has a LuLaRoe.
Yeah.
Did I say that right? Yeah. Some pants, and I tried them on. You don't know?
I have no idea. I have no clue.
I think they're LuLaRoe.
I got your back though.
Yeah, but they're very comfortable, and I really liked them a lot. So LuLaRoe, if you're out there, I want a pair. So you were deployed. Did you go to Iraq or Afghanistan?
We went to Afghanistan. Yeah, just Afghanistan from 2011 to 2012, April to April. Of course, you had the few that left a little early or stayed a little late. For the first chalk or for the changeover. But yeah, we were there. Kot Purtle King. It's in the Kunar province, RC East. Near the closest thing to that would be recognizable to anybody would be Jalalabad, which is where SEAL team was at before they went and got bin Laden, that happened while I was there. So we got to experience all of that. That was pretty wild.
The locals were
not so much the locals, just the people that didn't like us.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't like us even more. So it turned into a thing. I mean, it wasn't anything honestly outside of what we were used to, because you got to think we were taking contact just about every day. It was going to happen. I mean, if we went out during the day, we had to wear full gear. I mean, we didn't move during the day at all throughout, because I mean, we're sleeping in connexes and plywood shacks that they had built on this little base. So not a lot going on during the day, except for the people that were on guard in the battle positions. Yeah. So Brown, I seen that Torres had said that somebody had finally labeled Pirtle King on Google Maps, which is pretty sweet. Pirtle King is a really cool story though, because there was an outpost near us called Barrio Lai, and it's infamous, I guess, because Pirtle and King, which if I remember this correctly, and actually I prepared for this moment, by the way.
Did you really?
I did. Watch this. You ready for some shit?
You knew he was going to write this stuff?
I did.
Okay.
Let's see. 1 second. So Sergeant Pirtle and Specialist King, Barrio Lai had got overran. And if I'm wrong, I apologize. But if I remember my story correctly, they were one of the last 2 Americans left. That was only a couple of them up there and a bunch of ANA soldiers. They had gotten overran by the Taliban, and they called in an airstrike on their own position, and blew everything up on their own position.
So like a suicide.
Yeah. Basically, they were getting overran, and they were basically just called in an airstrike on themselves and destroyed everything. And so they named that outpost that we were at after them.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it was pretty wild. It was a pretty gnarly area, man. It really was. Route California was the one road in, one road out. You had a mountain on your right and the Kunar River on the left. And then on the other side of the Kunar River was the mountain leading into Pakistan.
See, I never, I went to Iraq. My brother went to Afghanistan, I think, a couple times.
Yeah.
And, I mean, stories are different.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, from Iraq, you hear when this was in Kuwait, like when people fly in, they go to Kuwait first. Let's see here. Seriously, we can exist with this. What got you through your deployment phase? I'll let Adam answer.
Oh gosh.
Because
Okay.
listen, so when I deployed, I didn't have any kids, and we said this at the beginning of the thing. Like I couldn't do it if I had my girls. It'd be tough for me to go to another country. I mean, it'd be tough. So yeah, you had wife and kids, and
man, yeah. So I had my wife, my 2 kids. I'll never forget the day that I left, because both of the kids were sunburnt, covered in blisters, because we had spent a couple of days prior to that at the beach with all of us guys as kind of our last, like, hoorah, yeah, if you will. Yeah. Because you know how it is. But man, it wasn't all bad there. We got to do a lot of cool stuff and meet a lot of cool people. A lot of the translators were really cool. Some of the ANA guys that we worked with, you had the ones that were really cool. And then a lot of them, you just feel like some of them you just couldn't trust. And we knew that going into that, obviously. But, it was just tough because we were in a place where all of our electricity, our water and everything was ran off of one generator, and freaking half of the time that generator didn't even work, so we were water bottles and wiping ourselves off with, baby wipes that our family sent to us and stuff like that. So that was tough. But I mean, just, I guess experiencing almost every single day, constantly in contact, going on patrols, going on missions. And then of course, experiencing, some of the really bad stuff, losing some of your guys, we got our fair share of that. And so it makes it really tough, and especially because not only I deal a lot with anxiety, some PTSD, and and a lot of that stuff back then was hard to talk about because there was just such.
You didn't talk about it.
Yeah, you just didn't with anybody. You just kept it to yourself.
Even when you got back, like they put you in like you had to go through and check the boxes.
No, right.
You know what I
you got
mean?
to talk to your little lady.
Yeah,
yeah.
Mine was a lady
No,
too. I had to
swear.
talk to this little
Yeah.
lady, and she's like, "How are you feeling?" I'm like, "I'm glad to be back."
I'm
And
here.
Are
Yeah.
you having any problems like sleeping? I'm like, "Nope, I sleep very good," and I still to this day sleep very good.
Yeah, I know.
But all the questions she's asked me, like, not one of them pulled anything out. Like,
No.
she didn't ask if I
Well,
was
and see-
suicidal. She didn't ask if I
No.
was depressed because I'm not still over there. Because I
Right,
mean,
right.
that's the thing. And yeah, no, it didn't get us.
Yeah, so I struggled with that really bad. Survivor's guilt was a big thing for me.
Mhm.
Especially May 23rd is the day that one of our vehicles hit an IED, and we lost 4 of the 5 guys in that vehicle. And one of those guys was my best friend. So, coming back, there's not a good transition. They don't know how to transition you
Yeah.
from training your brain to be that way constantly, and when you come back, they don't know how to help you shut it off. And I don't know that, and still to this day, I don't know that it's ever shut off.
Yeah,
It's just a little easier to maintain now.
yeah.
Because it's been so long. But like you said, I struggled with not being over there anymore.
Yeah.
And feeling like that was the only thing I was good at, and that's where I needed to be, especially having a wife and kids, because I wanted to be there for them, but I didn't know how to anymore.
Yeah, you
know what
weren't
I'm
the
saying?
same.
No, right.
You weren't
Yeah,
the same
no way.
dad. You weren't the
Yeah.
same husband.
Yeah.
So when you were over there, like, because you went through a lot more gunfights and stuff.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think a lot of people in Afghanistan did than Iraq. But I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not.
Well,
debate.
early to mid Iraq was the heavy for them.
Yeah. Well, during my
Uh,
time, like 03 to like 05, 06, I mean, so every year had some conflict. And
Right.
I'm not saying it didn't, but there was some more heavier than not. So during those times of the firefights or right after or whatever, to go back to Jeff's question,
Yeah,
like what kind of kept you focused and say, you know what, I'm going to get through it because of this.
Well, and I've tried to explain this to my wife before, because, as wives do, they ask a lot of questions, and some of them you don't know how to answer. And some of them, and I've told her I don't want to answer them,
Yeah.
because I'm afraid I don't want her to have the feelings that I do about it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, during that time, I'm
That's
going to be
good. I never
I'm going to
thought
be
of that.
completely honest with you. During all of that, I tried to get out of my mind that my wife and kids were at home waiting for me. And because I think being in that heavy of a situation, the majority of it for me was, if I can't protect the guy to my left and right, they're not going to be able to protect me, and none of us are going to get back to anywhere. And
That's
if I get caught up thinking, shit, man, I've got a wife and kids, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? I feel like I wouldn't be able to perform what I needed to perform to make sure everything was the way it needed to be.
Yeah.
So I try to put that in the back of my mind as much as I could.
And that's I mean, that's good too. And I've heard that before. It's like,
Yeah.
I got a job to do.
Yeah, I got to
Right.
separate the two. I feel,
Yeah.
for me anyway, and it's not that way for everyone.
And it's hard too, because I know sometimes downtime, stuff is not going on. You're gonna think about your wife.
No,
and kids.
right. In
You know what I mean?
that time frame, it was totally
Yeah.
different. But I mean, if
So
it
it's not
was
that
game
you just
time,
stop
if you will.
talking.
No, right.
I'm single, a bachelor, bro.
Yeah, right.
That's a great question. Keep them coming.
Yeah, yeah.
That was good. I'll tell you mine. So mine was, again, I didn't have what you had back home. But I still have my family, my mom and
No,
dad.
right.
So I'm big in, my faith is huge. And at the time, it wasn't as big of a part of me. Right.
Right.
So I'd been baptized when I was 12 years old, 12 or 13. And I really didn't know what I was doing. Other kids were doing it. I'm like, I want to do that too. I think that's the thing to do. So I remember in Iraq, we had a chaplain, and we would go to church, and he would do his sermon and kind of put what we're going through into the sermon. And I remember thinking, like, man, like, I need to get saved, because I really didn't get saved.
No, right.
I didn't
Right.
feel like I got saved when I was young. And so I got baptized again there in Iraq.
Right
And but there's one song I would always put my walkie-talkie.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, I'd have one CD, and I would always play, and it was "I Can Only Imagine" by
Oh yeah.
by
yeah.
Mercy Me, and it was
Great
just
song.
on repeat on repeat,
Yeah.
Like anytime I had downtime or I wasn't doing anything with the guys, I put it on. I would just listen to it over and over. So, come to find out, my wife doesn't like the song, but I don't care.
Ouch,
Anytime I
bud.
hear it, I
What?
play it. There's a lot of stuff she don't like that I like. But, Jeff said I survived cancer, so my life focus changed after that experience. I assume that you guys both came back with a different focus, different life goal. Oh, for sure. Well, hold on. Let me put that back up there. So
Well, congrats on the
Yes.
cancer. Yes, great job.
amen, brother.
Yes.
So we're in the kitchen.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So usually I do this on the. I'll stop. I'm gonna get back to this question. I usually do on the patio, but it's 93 degrees and
It
I'm
is
fat.
beaming. It beaming.
And I was just sweating just out there, like getting a mic stand.
Yeah.
So that's why we're in the kitchen. But I like the setup.
Yeah, yeah. I think it looks
And
good.
I like the air conditioner.
Yeah. There's
Um,
popsicles and stuff everywhere. No big deal.
Yeah. Kids in the kitchen. I got a burger and fries over there.
You
But
did-
yeah,
yeah,
I
you
haven't
asked
ate
me
it.
if I was hungry, and then you haven't even.
and I haven't even eaten it.
yet.
But I think I mean I'm definitely different from when I left or when I went to Iraq than when I came back.
Oh, most certainly.
I mean, I think, and my mom
Most
says it
certainly.
all the and man, it's the saddest thing when she talks real serious and she's like, my boy never came back. I mean, she told me that line.
no,
and I
yeah.
start crying. I'm like,
Yeah.
you're right. That boy's still over there, But so I came back. I would say different life goals. I mean, while I was over there, I was wanting to make it back.
Yeah, that was
when I
the
came,
goal.
When I came back, I made it back, and I'm like, you know what? I've survived one of the hardest things that I will ever have to do,
Yeah.
and going to another country and have people wanting to kill me.
No, right.
I've
yeah.
survived it. There's really nothing out here in this world that
Right.
I should be afraid of,
Yeah.
other than Jesus. I mean, I'm a God-fearing Christian, and I think everybody knows that. But
Yeah.
I mean, I want to do it right. I'm not out here robbing banks because I think I'm Superman or something. But I'm not afraid to die.
No, right.
One, I know where I'm going.
Yeah.
And it's a heavenly place, and I cannot wait to get there.
Yeah.
But so I'm gonna live my life the best I can, and as much as my anxiety lets me.
No, right.
If that makes sense.
Right. I mean, for me, like I always try to explain to everybody who I was when I left, who I was when I got back, and who I am now are three totally different people. I can genuinely say that when I first came back, I didn't have any goals. I didn't have anything. I didn't know what to do with myself.
I had one goal: to get as drunk as possible.
Yeah, every night. Yeah, I turned into an alcoholic like
Every
100%.
night. I did too.
Like,
I quit drinking in 2006 because
Yeah,
of
I mean,
that.
I have a few drinks here and there. I mean, I had a few at the Porch Fest and it was fun, but I know in no way, shape, or form do I drink the way that I did when I first came back.
No.
But a lot of that was just me masking the troubles that I was having. So I had no goals then. Now, after getting through all of that and
Managing it.
managing it, because to make a long story short, I try to take the quick way out of here in 2013. And after that, that's when I truly started having goals, if you will, to answer your question, and my goal was to be what my parents were never to me, and to give my kids the things that I never had, give my wife the things she never had. And that's taken, Jesus Christ, all these years to get to that point. And I'm still trying, but I try not to set goals for myself, if you will. I try to do objectives, because if you set a goal, that's an end to me.
Spitting knowledge out here,
I'm trying.
bro.
That setting a goal is an end, and an objective will keep you going. Objective gets you here, and then you've got another one,
I like
and another
that.
one, and another one.
That's a weird way, and everybody. There's probably more people that think like this, but this kind of helps me get through whatever.
Yeah.
Is I always have something. There's always something planned. Like there's always a birthday party, or there's always always a dinner, or there's always a movie, or there's always something to look forward to.
Right.
And if you stop having those, you have nothing to look forward to, and that can take you down a tunnel,
And it's fast.
and it's real
very,
fast,
very fast.
And luckily, I've never been there. I've got close when my anxiety first started happening.
Yeah.
I've said it many times. Avery's knocking on the door, but I said, if you're killing me, take me. Like,
right.
I was ready to
Right.
go. So I haven't been to that point, and hopefully I never do. And I don't think I will now that I got all these avenues that I've opened up for myself.
Yeah.
To be able to reach out to people. Like, I know I can call you and be like, hey,
oh, for sure, I'm here.
I need a minute.
Yeah.
I need a minute to talk. And but yeah, that's a great question. Look at Jeff over here.
Yeah, I mean, and I've had that talk with several of my buddies. We've lost a lot of guys, that have lost their battle with their demons.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I to count maybe 6 or 7, maybe more since we've been back. Some that I directly know, and some that I acquaintances with that I just knew from being around them, or they're in a different company or whatever the case may be. I knew who they were though, right? And I guess really, if I knew them or not, really doesn't matter. Or they were my brother or they were my sister.
Yeah.
No matter what, so it was tough either way to see that stuff. And it's just, kind of like we said before, you don't talk about that stuff, and seeing Sergeant Major the other day, tell us his story during coffee with vets.
But
that stuff got heavy really fast. I wasn't prepared for that at 9 a.m. I was only one coffee in, and I was not ready for that. But
I tell you what, so, and this is me, I guess, miscommunication. And there was, I guess there was another guy supposed to be at this coffee with veterans, right? To talk about the Ford Motor Company.
No, right.
Yeah.
Right.
So Sergeant Major gets up and he starts talking. He mentions Ford Motor Company. And it's not promoting it, right?
No,
and I'm like,
it's the opposite.
And I remember looking at Doc, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, I'm so confused right now. And then he went into his testimony, and I was like, I mean, there's a lot of guys that put their head down, and I was wiping away like tears. Like, I mean, it was real.
Because here's the thing, man. What's so cool now about veterans our age is we've made it okay
to talk about it.
Yeah, we've made it okay to talk about, and
we're
to
okay
be honest
with the label.
With you, like my wife hears me joke about it all the time, like the messed up stuff about what we think about or been through, whatever. And she's like, Jesus Christ, Dad. I'm like, calm down.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but you got to understand
filter,
that's that's our way of kind of dealing with it, and sometimes that's how you tell your friends you need to talk about it.
Yeah.
You just kind of start BSing about it, and they're like, hey man, like, are you cool? And then he's like, no, I'm not. Like,
I'm not.
And I've had many of, conversations on the phone with, guys that have been in that situation who are ready, and spending hours on the phone just explaining
Talking
to them
down,
why it's not time, So
we it was nuts, man. When he said he had the date, he had the date, the time, the location, how he's going to do it.
Yeah.
And I mean, he got emotional at that point.
Yeah. And that's why I connected with it so well, is because I know that feeling.
Yeah.
I've been there, and the fact that he was brave enough to get up there and tell us, and to get as emotional about it as he did. It was cool that he goes and tells his story to people, but you could tell, I could hear it in his voice. He needed, not only did he want to help people, which was amazing, but for himself, he needed to tell his story to people, because I felt like it's healing to him.
Yeah.
To just to let it out, just to say what he needed to say. And you could tell he felt comfortable around us enough to kind of go into kind of what he went into.
Yeah.
Because you don't talk about that stuff to a lot of people, so it was great that he felt comfortable enough around us to get that far into it. And I appreciated it. It was awesome.
And
really cool.
And that's kind of what this podcast is, just get on and just letting stuff off the chest.
Yeah.
And I usually tell, I mean, I know when I did it before last year, I was like, hey, is there anything that is off the table? Like that, and everybody usually is like, no, I'm open.
I'll talk about anything, man. I'll talk about anything.
And then I come for the gizzard, and they're like,
oh boy.
But I mean, it's still like, even though it is a podcast, and even though it's just me and you talking here,
yeah.
I mean, obviously 5-6 people are going to see it. And
well, that's 5 enough for me.
Yeah. I mean, but before it's like, do I really want to talk about, like, if somebody was like, going down the suicide road
Yeah.
and that was their only option, like, is that something that I really want to bring out
Right.
in this podcast? And after doing it, I mean, many people were like, man, you're doing a good thing. Like, let them, it lets them get off their chest and it doesn't hold it in, all this stuff. So that's
Well,
kind of
not
why.
only that, but one, you're bringing awareness to it that it's a problem.
Yeah.
And two, you're also showing people who may be going through that currently, like, hell, this dude's on Facebook Live talking about it.
Yeah.
Like, why can't I just tell somebody?
And that's military, not. I mean, that's just random, like civilians.
Yeah.
Like,
anybody.
Everybody has those tendencies.
Yeah, everybody's got problems. PTSD just isn't from military. It's hell, you can get in a car crash and have PTSD. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You never want to get in a car again.
I talk about it all the time.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just like you said before, if you can just reach one person, you say 5 people watch this. If one of those people or somebody who is struggling or going through something, they know they've got somebody to reach out to. They know they've got, or they can at least maybe look at this and work up just enough courage to say something to somebody about anything. It doesn't have to be on a suicide thing. It's about your anxiety, your depression, anything, just reaching out to about any of it.
I know my wife has a story now and about everything she went through last year.
Yeah.
And I'll get her to tell it when she's ready. But I mean, it could be beneficial for people because there's a lot of stuff that we learned during the process that we didn't know. And it's like, I wish we would have known that a lot sooner,
Yeah.
But
pain is knowledge.
Pain is knowledge.
It really is. What's your favorite memory of your time in the service? Oh, gosh.
I'm going to take this one because he was going to say you, and that's just not fair.
Oh.
Hey.
She knows better.
The favorite memory of my time in the service. Well, I jumped too quickly. I said I wanted it. Favorite memory. I'm gonna go all the way back to basic training. Okay. So my dad was a drill sergeant growing up, and my sister posted something about it today. And I used to go to the basic trainings with them, do the push-ups in front of the soldiers, and they hated me because my dad would make them push because of me.
Right.
So I was that little shithead. So anyways, when I went to basic training, I kind of knew
the gist of it.
I kind of knew the gist of it.
Yeah.
And he told me first thing, he's like, don't let them know that you have any family members in the military, especially that your dad's a drill sergeant. He's like, because they will kill you.
Right.
So I was like, okay. So, we get there and we get off the truck and everybody's going nuts and in
Shark
your face
attack.
yelling. Yeah. And, you finally figure out, you got to work as a team and help everybody and they'll quit yelling at you. So you get there and they're like, whose family member was in the military? And these people were so proud. I mean, they're raising their hand. He's like, my uncle was this in the Navy and my dad was this and all this stuff. And they get to me. It's like, did you have anybody? And I'm like, nope, no drill sergeant, not me. So anyways, they get through and they smoke the hell out of them. I mean, they had it pretty bad. So fast forward 9 weeks. And it was family day, and we're in there cleaning up everything, getting the tables ready for the families. And freaking dad walks in with his uniform on.
Oh shit!
And his brown round.
Oh no!
I'm like, are you guys? No. I'm sorry. He was in his jumpsuit. He was in his jumpsuit then. Okay. And he's like, yeah, is Private Basham here? And he's like, yeah, he's over there. He's like, who are you? And he's like, I'm his father. And he's like, he's like, were you? They said something or whatever. All I hear, my drill sergeant called me Bass Ham. He's like, Bass Ham, down. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like he told him. So I did my I got smoked for about 30 minutes while they sat there and chit chat and caught up. So anyways, come graduation, my dad walks in with his full uniform, full stack, brown round, drill sergeant patch, and all these other patches. No. And I got a picture of it. And I'm just looking teased, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I walked across the stage, and my drill sergeant, they handed me that little diploma or whatever.
Yeah.
And he handed it to me, and he was drill sergeant short. He was about yay big. You can't see it. He was like yay big, right? And he's like, lean down here. So I leaned down. He's like, if I knew your dad was a drill sergeant, he's like, I would have killed you day one. Like, so I didn't tell you drill sergeant.
That's why I didn't tell
But
you.
the story I want to tell. So drill sergeant Short, I'll never forget this guy. He used to jump on the laundry tables and like yell at us because he was so short. I'm not
Jesus
even
Christ.
exaggerating. Fast forward to Iraq, they have an MWR tent in
Yeah,
Iraq.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
and everybody, that's where you kind of let loose. They have near beer there. They
Yeah.
have the orange soda, the orange mellow yellow, or the Mountain Dews,
Oh yeah.
and just have a good time, right? Dance all night. So, anyways, we're sitting there. I'm eating some M&Ms. They had some M&Ms in the MWR tent, playing cards. In walks Drill Sergeant Short. Okay, so this
No
was
shot.
I went to basic training in 01. This was 03.
Yeah. Yeah.
And probably like late 03. And Drill Sergeant Short walks in. I got my heart stopped. I'm like, I fluttered.
Oh no.
I fluttered, and I'm like,
Oh,
oh my
God.
God, there he is. You know, it's like my demon, right? But he was getting him a little orange soda, and I walked up to him like, hey, Drill Sergeant Short, you know,
No,
I'm
yeah.
like E4
Yeah,
at
yeah,
this
yeah.
time, like promotable. I'm like, Drill Sergeant Short, and he's like, looked at me, he's like, Bassam? I'm like, yes, Drill
Oh,
Sergeant
yes,
Short.
that's
I'm
me,
parade
baby.
rest and everything, right?
yeah.
And he's like, man, sit down, let's have a soda, you know.
That's awesome.
And but I got to catch up with him. So he was over in
Yeah.
Iraq with a different unit or
That's
whatever.
cool.
But it shook me. All right, you go.
So since you talked about basic and Megan asked a question, I'll tell you. So on Family Day, we were waiting. So me and Adam were waiting for his wife at the time and Megan to show up. They rode together with all of our family, the whole bit. They were late. And,
Way to go, Megan.
Yeah, I know. And so all the families are walking through the bay and they're getting to look at the kill zone and all this cool stuff. And
I wish
Drill
we got that tour.
yeah, Drill
Like,
Sergeant
that nice-
Drill Sergeant Amaker was like, which is our senior drill sergeant. He's like, he goes, boys, where's your family? And I was like, well, I guess they're late. I don't know. And he's like, oh, all right. He goes, well, I guess you should probably start doing push-ups until they get here. And I was like, excuse me.
That's you.
Yeah,
You
that's
know
you
you
did
are.
it. And yeah, so we pushed until they got there, and then my kids were terrified of Drill Sergeant Amaker because he was huge,
Yeah.
and maybe not Abel so much because he was little, but Aiden for sure. But yeah, that was pretty funny. Basic was awesome, man.
It was. I
had
mean,
a great
hindsight.
time. Yeah,
It was-
hindsight, it was
even
funny.
even during it, like it was.
I enjoyed my time there. Even when I was there, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed every bit of
I
it.
think the worst part of basic for me was a gas chamber. That was the worst.
So we had to go through 3 times.
We went through twice.
Yeah, so we went through twice,
Yeah.
and then Drill Sergeant Palomera, or no, Jolka and Drill Sergeant Palomera get into
I had
it.
a drill sergeant Paul Mayer.
Really?
Probably not the same one.
Yeah, right not.
Go ahead.
You're old. So they start getting into an argument, a feud. They're like,
drill sergeant did.
yeah. They're like, my platoon can last longer than yours.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, for sure. So we get roped into the middle of that fiasco.
But you're hype.
I'm hyped because
Yeah.
because now I got a Golden Glove boxer Palomero over
Yeah.
here that I have to.
Oh yeah, mine was not a boxer.
No, yeah, he was a little short,
Different guy.
stocky dude.
Yeah,
He's
mine was not.
He did we had to do the 300 workout with him all the time. That's
Yeah.
extra PT.
But
But
that gas chamber, man.
that was brutal, dude. It really.
I don't care how
was.
big you are, how
No,
strong you are.
no.
They're gonna it'll
Yeah,
get you.
it's
It'll
bad.
get the biggest man.
Bad. People forgetting stuff, walking off the wrong
Oh.
direction, and so then you
And
gotta
I
go
thought
back
I
through.
thought I was gonna be cute, man.
God.
Like I held my breath because Basham, BA, I was always at the very
Yep.
front of the line,
Yep.
and they started with me. So I had to. They
Wait
went
for
through everybody. So I like held my, but I didn't know where they were gonna start.
Yeah.
So he came up to me, I held my breath, took off my mask. He's like, "What's your name?" Basham. Like, I mean, I'm not losing any breath. I'm not sucking anything in. And he's like, "Where are you from?" "Oh, I'm Brett County, Kentucky." "What's your social?" "What, you know, what, blah, 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 blah." And he's like, and I'm sitting there just holding it. This is before asthma. And I'm sitting there holding it. And he just pushes my stomach in. And I'm like, I went down. That was it, man. I come out flapping my wings like
Just
a stupid,
panicking,
dumb
absolutely
ostrich
panicking.
and snot coming out my
Oh,
face.
yeah.
And
Oh yeah,
it's
freshly shaved, so your
fun.
face is nice and
Yeah,
burned.
so fun. Well, no, I didn't shave until about 2 years in. I didn't have to.
No,
No,
you just
they
can't grow facial hair.
Drill Sergeant Short came because I was cutting myself. I was cutting myself because I wasn't. I had no hair. he came and ripped the blade out. So I just
Oh yeah, so you just had a piece of plastic.
piece of plastic. I had to put the shaving cream on and go through the
Oh,
motions
my
and walk
God.
out.
That's
But
beautiful.
that's true story.
That's funny.
Our car window was broken into. We had a reason.
Yeah, whatever. Well, I got smoked because of it, so whatever.
Did Sarah have a question?
She raised her hand.
She
I
did.
don't know.
This ain't a school. Hard knocks. What not to do. Sarah, if you have a question, go ahead. You can come in here, or you can just ask on
Yeah,
here,
right.
whichever way you want to do it. So AIT. So you're infantry. So you went all the way through.
I think it
There-
was called OSIT. I think,
Yeah, it was-
it's all one big thing. You don't separate it into segments. You just do it all at once. It just
So
all
for 13
happens.
papas and the mics and the artillery people, we had AIT. Like we had basic, and then we had to walk up the street to that AIT.
Yeah,
And it was a different set of drill sergeants, like laid back. Like they're there to teach
you're on
you your job.
Yeah, no, right. That's your
Where infantry is
advanced
like
individual
you get the
training.
same drill sergeants the whole
yeah.
way
They're,
through, right?
they're just assholes the whole time. Yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
you teach them. You teach the infantry some. Obviously, they know they got to learn all these
Right.
different stuff, but
Right.
it's the way you get taught.
Yeah, it is.
Ours is a lot of math, a lot of education, like a lot of books,
Yeah.
a lot of computers. So, I guess that's why I'm so good at the Atari now.
Yeah,
but
I mean, when we did our final FTX, and we all got caught with sunflower seeds because the drill sergeant took me and Adam Richardson.
Mm.
We were the PG. It was me and
where's that
him.
dude at?
It was
Is
me
he
and
working?
him and our buddy McIntosh, who ended up actually losing one of his legs in Afghanistan. He got to be Serena Williams ball boy in the U.S. Open.
Really?
He ran like the 4x100 and beat the Navy for the first time ever in like 30 years or something.
With one leg?
In the Special Olympics. Yeah, he's got his little tink leg, the little
What's his
cheetah
name?
leg.
It ain't the guy. It ain't that guy, is it?
McIntosh.
Oh, Megan. It's not. Who's the guy that like beat his wife and he's in prison now?
Oh no,
the
no,
original
no, no,
Tink
no.
Tink?
Yeah, no, not him. No, yeah, no.
Petrus
My dude's
or-
cool.
Was it Peach? I think he was like from South Africa.
Yeah,
or
I don't
something.
remember.
Anyways,
But yeah, anyway. But yeah, so after that FTX, of course, you got to do your final march, which they tell you is like 10 miles and it's like 15 miles. It's terrible. Fell asleep. Funny story in that. So we're walking and I probably fell asleep for a mile or two easily.
walking.
Yeah. And drill sergeant's like, hey man, like wake up. And I was like, holy crap. I was like, what happened? He goes, dude, you just fell asleep. And I was like, holy shit. So I'm just,
What
I
happened?
just yeah. And so me and Adam start running to the front because they had a truck, like a LNTV and a water buffalo. And if you fell out, you had to get in the truck. If you got in the truck, you get recycled.
Yeah,
That's it.
You're not. in
Yeah,
that
yeah.
truck.
So Adam's like, dude, let's run to the front to the water buffalo. I'm out of water. I was like, all right, cool. So we run to the front, fill up, and it's dark. I can't see anything. We get up there, because it's, I don't know, it's probably 2-3 o'clock in the morning. Start filling up my Camelback. I throw it on my rucksack and we start marching. I didn't take a drink of it or anything. I start getting hot, man. I start spraying my face with it. And Adam looks at me and he goes, dude, this water tastes funny. And I was like, what the hell? And so I drink it and it's damn orange Gatorade. I am
Oh,
covered
man.
head to toe in
Sticky.
orange Gatorade. It
Just
was the
sticky, bud.
nastiest. Dude, I
Oh,
was
that's
so
funny.
mad, bro. But the last 2 miles of that, they bring out like a bunch of Skedcos and sandbags, water jugs filled with water, and you got to carry it the rest of the way to Honor Hill,
Yeah.
where it looks like they're having a looks like
You
a
say,
cult
I don't
meeting.
know. We
Yeah,
didn't go through
it's-
that, but
It looks like a satanic ritual there. It really
Yeah.
does. Big bonfire the whole bit.
we didn't. We
It was wild.
yeah, we
was
got to
super
go out
cool.
on town.
Yeah.
Last 3 weekends.
sounds
of our
awesome.
AIT. Riding around in a cab and smoke a pack of cigarettes
God.
between all of us, like in one
Jesus
setting.
Christ.
So
Yeah, no, none of that.
I remember
No.
walking through the mall, during
Oh
AIT.
yeah.
And I was a dipper. I've always been a dipper. And instead of putting it in my lip, for some dumb reason, I put it in my upper lip so I could spit in a straw. They're like, that works better, and I'm like, okay.
All right.
But I hadn't dipped or smoked or anything for
a while.
for
yeah.
9 weeks and plus 4 or 5 weeks.
Oh God.
And man, I'm walking through this mall like I have vertigo, like I'm drunk.
Buzz
right?
and bud for
Drill
sure.
sergeant walks through the mall.
Oh,
And
they
they
do
said
that,
they
though.
would.
Yeah,
They said they
do for
would.
sure.
But
Make
I
sure you
had
don't buy any Rolexes and all the people trying to sell
you're
you
not
shit.
stupid.
Yeah.
But it was nuts. But I felt like I was drunk. I'm like, he's gonna catch me. Like I'm about to throw up right now, and I'm just trying to
Oh,
get through this
no.
first initial buzz. Because once I put that second dip in, I'll be pretty straight. But it was a bad weekend, bud. You know how it is.
Tough stuff, man.
You know how it is.
Yeah.
I got in trouble one time. They told me I had to go on KP. I was not going to get my weekend pass. And I'm like, what?
So
Like-
I fractured my pelvis and my foot during basic,
Oh, that's
and I had a cast on. I did it on the obstacle course, and I had a cast on my leg. I say a cast is just one of those things that you wrap up and not like a hard one.
Yeah.
I had crutches, and Drill Sergeant Ambeker comes up to me, and he had Drill Sergeant Palmera and Drill Sergeant Kazai maybe with him. And they just kind of shot me straight. Hey, David, what's up, buddy? And they shot me straight because we were kind of at that point, where they were starting to treat you like a human.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, hey, man, look, like, if you can't continue to do the stuff we need you to do, we're going to recycle you, but you'll start where you left off.
Oh, that sucks.
And I was like, no shot. I was like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And
I'll
he's
take
like,
this thing off.
And so they drove me down, or Adam. No, I think Adam might have walked with me down to sick hall. I handed off my crutches, handed off my thing, and the lady's like, are you good? And I was like, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm great.
How many weeks do you have left at that point?
I still probably had another month left.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. It was awful. It sucked. But so I get back, and Drill Sergeant was like, are you good? And I was like, yeah, I'm straight, dog. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere.
Did you call him dog and everything like that?
I called him by his name one time. And
What, we drinking buddies now?
100. That was the first thing he said. He goes,
Yeah.
shit, I guess me and Ash are homies. Like, I guess we're drinking buddies. And I was like, no.
Yeah, I used to.
I'm so sorry.
I used to giggle at all this stuff,
Oh,
like
man.
internally. I didn't do it in their phrase.
No, right.
So I got one more story, and then we can wrap it up.
Okay.
I mean, we can talk all night.
Yeah,
Whatever.
whatever.
I
Yeah.
don't care. But my wife probably does. So basically, first night. Okay, so this
Did y'all sleep at attention? I got to interrupt you real fast.
no.
So the first night, we're laying in bed, and they go to shut the lights out, and he's like, don't fuck my blankets up. And I'm like, what do you mean?
I'm sleeping on the floor.
Yeah, so I sleep at like attention, like this, on top of my cover, so I don't mess them up.
Oh my gosh.
I was freezing to death, bro. That was so cold.
No, I didn't do that. Man, they were mean to you, bud.
They were awful. I'm
Gosh.
telling you, they were awful. It was the worst thing ever.
So when we get there, I flew in first time flying on a plane that I remember because I flew on a plane in Alaska when I was young. First time on a plane, a little scared about that, but anxiety hadn't met me yet, so I
No,
didn't really
right.
care. I'm like, whatever, YOLO.
Yeah.
So we land in Oklahoma City. They have a bus. We get on the bus. We drive to Fort Sill, and we pull up to this thing, and they give us a tray of food when we walk in, and it's like, sit down, we're going to brief you. And these are just regular
Right.
soldiers.
Yeah.
So they're like, go ahead and eat your meal, all this stuff. It's like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. So they're like, if you have any cigarettes, dip, crack, whatever you got in your pockets, this is your time to get rid
The
of it.
amnesty box.
The amnesty
Yeah,
box.
yeah.
You go into this little
Yeah.
cubicle. Everybody thinks they're cute. They keep a little cigarette or a little dip or whatever. I did. So I don't throw all of it away, right?
No, right.
So anyways, you go in there, and then they take you to these barracks, and you go to sleep. They give you uniforms and all this stuff.
Right.
So the next day you wake up and you're in your like baggy uniforms,
They're
don't even have your
awful.
name
They
on
were
it or
awful.
nothing. And they walk you around. It's almost like a job fair. Or for us, it's like you had your bank over here and you had this other stuff right here.
No, yeah, that's how it was.
Like if you're
Yeah.
married,
yeah.
Deers was there and all
Yeah.
this stuff. So went around, got my bank account set up and all this stuff. And it was cool. Like they had drill sergeants there, but they're like, hey, Brian, hey, come with me. I'm going to show you where you
They
get
were
your shoes
so
at.
nice.
So
at
nice.
30th AG.
And
so
then
nice.
You get your shots. I got the penicillin shot.
Oh God, it was the worst.
It hurts.
Absolute worst.
Really hurts. And then you had to do the PT test the day after.
Yep. Yeah.
and it was
Sore
like,
butt.
yeah, you have to run a mile. You have to do like 1 minute push-ups and all this stuff. So
Yeah.
if
Yeah,
you don't
it was
pass, you
terrible.
had to go back through. Okay,
Right.
we already know this.
Yeah.
Then so we had some guys there that couldn't make that. Okay, we had this dude. This is a true story.
Recruiter was like, "Come on, baby, please make it."
This was a true story. So we had this guy. His name it started with a V. I had it.
You lost it, bud.
I did. Anyways, he was from California. Short guy. We're all bald, but he was bald, and he was just so hyper, so excited. Right, the first day, second day, not so hyper. He would walk around like he was walking a dog. Straight up with a leash, walking a dog. And we're like, what are you doing? He's
like
like,
his hand out.
hand out and everything. We're like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm walking a dog.
Shut the front door.
I was like, are you kidding me right now? He's like, no. He's like, I'm walking a dog. All right, bro. So I walked away.
He's trying to
He
go
went
home,
home.
baby. Yeah,
They took a
yeah.
shoestring or bootstring. They gave him the vest.
No
And
shot.
Vassar.
Oh, no.
Vassar. Yes.
You poor fella.
Second day.
Where's he at
Second.
now,
We weren't
though?
even in basic training yet. Second day. And man,
That man said no.
it was weird.
Man, we had
Weird
some
situation. I'm like, it ain't
strange
even
fellers,
tough.
man.
Like we're like watching TV.
Yeah.
Like
Eating
drill sergeant,
food, hitting
drill
up
sergeant
nice.
sitting right next to me
Yeah.
watching TV. Like, hey, you like this show, Brian? yeah, but I'm ready for like
when we
The
got
hell?
off the bus and the shark attack was about to happen.
yeah.
So right before that, they teach you how to do a push-up. They teach you how to do a sit-up. Like they're like super nice to you. You don't realize the people talking to you at this point who just got off the buses are your drill sergeants. You don't know that.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah, okay, I know how to do a push-up. Like, what the shit? So we get on the bus, and I've got one of the drill
Go ahead,
sergeants
Carl. I
sitting-
already
yeah.
know, bud.
He's like sitting catty corner from me, and we're all in there just chit-chatting, laughing, hoo-hawing, and oh man, this is gonna be crazy fun. And I will never forget
Boys.
Drill Sergeant Amaker, one of the biggest black dudes I've ever seen in my life. Played running back for South Carolina in like 98, 99. Was like the number 2 running back in the nation. Big dude, huge. He stands up and he goes, "Get the fuck off my bus." Real quiet. And I was like, ha, I like laughed. And he goes, "Did you not understand me?" And then at the top of his lungs, obviously, he yells the same thing.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my, I was scared for my life. I was grabbing people's stuff. It wasn't even mine. I was just chucking stuff off the bus, trying to get out as fast as I could. I
So
was out of there, bud.
so I didn't know. Like I knew them being nice. I'm like, this ain't real.
It's not going to last.
This ain't real. So we get on the bus to go to our basic training, and we pull up, and the driver, very sweet little old man, he's like,
Poor guy.
you guys have fun, and we'll
Oh,
see you when you're
no.
done, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we're saying the same thing. We're just talking it up, having a good time, and but we didn't even see them. Like I don't even know where they're at. I really don't,
In the
because
bushes.
we're looking out the window. It's like, oh, that's where we're gonna stay and all this stuff.
Oh,
And our bus
God.
was stopped for like 5 minutes, and it was like, this is where we're gonna stay and all this stuff. And we're just waiting, and then all doors pop open.
Oh,
Our
yeah.
back door. The back
Oh,
doors is
yeah.
what scared
yeah,
me.
Yeah,
Back doors came open. Drill Sergeant Short, he could jump. He jumped from the ground to the back of the bus. He's like, get off
Get
my
off the
bus right now.
bus.
And he starts like grabbing privates and throwing them off the back and
Oh, yeah.
like
It's
leaving
game
their
time.
bags. So
Oh,
like
yeah.
you said, everybody's just throwing bags
Yeah,
out. Like,
just
just get them
chucking
out, just
stuff,
get them
man.
out. And
I don't care.
I
who it
mean,
belongs to.
the whole time we're carrying bags, and he's just chirping in my ear. And I'm like, oh my God,
Oh,
oh
yeah.
God. But and I knew it was coming. It's still
Yeah,
like
yeah.
to this day, if you put me on a bus and somebody opens the back door and starts yelling, I'm gonna freak out a little bit.
Oh, God. I'm
I'm gonna freak out. I'm gonna get off.
I'm
Like
sorry.
whatever you say, whatever you say. But yeah, hey, thanks for everybody
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's
hanging
awesome.
out. This is pretty cool. I might do it in the kitchen from now on.
Yeah. There was not a no after
There
that.
wasn't a no. So yeah, any final thoughts?
Man, I don't think so. Thanks for doing the podcast. Thanks for getting that going. That's pretty awesome because obviously I wasn't. I had the idea and I didn't know how to follow through with it, obviously. But so I mean, I appreciate that, and I think this is a great platform, especially with what we're doing with veterans empowered
Yes.
together. We didn't touch on that, but that's fine. But I mean, just this in combination, just having people to be around, being able to talk about us, to laugh, go from laughing, having fun, telling fun stories to being able to be serious at some points, and showing people that it's okay to be that way. I think that's great. So I don't know. I appreciate it, man.
Hey, it was
I
your
think you're
idea.
doing- Yeah. Well, I
I just run
don't
with
take
it.
all the credit, but I'm just
just-
kidding.
I should.
And so
you
what-
remember the first logo I gave you? Like
yeah,
that
it
we did?
was.
It was pretty.
it was-
Bash and Ash.
It was Bash and Ash. Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
It's come a long way, obviously. But do you want to tell everybody real fast before we go about what we got going on July the
Yeah.
1st?
So anybody here in Owensboro, or even if
Yes.
you're not in Owensboro and you want to drive
Be
to
here
Owensboro,
Or be
Friday after 5, July 1st. It's a block party downtown. If you don't know what that is, it's a great time. So Fran, probably not watching this, but if you are, love you. She messed up and gave a bunch of veterans the keys to playing the biggest party of the year. So we're going to do it, and we're going to
Yeah.
show them how
Yeah,
veterans party and have a good time. But we're going to be out there. So Veterans Empower Together is a nonprofit.
Yep.
They're going to be the main sponsor of the main stage. So we're
Yep.
going to have the
Yep.
ceremonial stuff as well as the music. We're going to have veteran resources out there, different booths set up to help veterans in whatever they want. We're going to have all the VSOs, VFW, American Legion, and the AMVETs.
Yeah,
They're going to have
yeah,
booths
yeah.
out there for membership drives. And that's the big thing. Like Vet is not taking the place of any of those. We're more or less
helping
Get-
guide them.
helping guide them
Yeah,
into
yeah,
the
yeah. Giving them a platform.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then not everybody's a big drinker. So that's where Vet
Yeah,
comes in, and
Yeah.
we're getting families together and stuff. So it's a big family night, July 1st.
Yep.
But before that, June 23rd at Why Not Pizza, they're celebrating
yeah.
Vet as well.
That's
so
right. That's right. Yeah.
come out to Why Not Pizza June 23rd, about 6:00. Great
That's
music.
bike night, right?
Bike night.
Night. Yeah.
Music.
Music.
Drew Odd,
Drew Odd, yeah, yeah.
Mike Riggs is going to be out there. So it'll be a fun time. But appreciate everybody staying on. Asking questions, Jeff. Thank you for the questions,
Yeah, that was
Megan.
awesome, man. I appreciate it.
And then next time we'll get better. We're
Yeah.
always gonna get better.
Yeah.
All right.
Remember, have objectives, not goals.
have objectives. That goes. Later, y'all.